So as you can tell, I've made a lot of progress unpacking the studio. It's me, Bussy, and welcome back to Hot or Rot. And today's the big day, or depending on when you're watching this, probably a couple of days after the big day. The cast of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 15 has finally been announced. So in today's video, we'll be meeting the 16 new queens from this season, diving into their Instagrams to see what we can find, and breaking down their racing-themed promo looks. Plus, we'll also be discussing some other new exciting Drag Race announcements concerning a new global All-Stars and more international spin-offs. That's right, Drag Race is going even more global, and RuPaul is recruiting every man, woman, child, and non-binary individual to become a drag queen. Thank God. But first, quick question. Are you using the internet without Surfshark? Here's the tea. Without the protection of a VPN, sneaky snoopers and even your internet service provider can see everything you're doing. But the solution is simple. Start protecting yourself when you browse online by clicking the link in the description of this video to start downloading Surfshark, my favorite award-winning virtual private network. And yeah, Surfshark can do awesome things like help block ads and trackers and get better prices on airline tickets, but my favorite use is to unlock geo-restricted content on streaming platforms. That's right, with just one click, I can surf on over to a country like Argentina, and bada bing, bada boom, I've got access to the entire RuPaul's Drag Race streaming library in one place without paying for 10 different streaming platforms. And best of all, you can use Surfshark on all of your devices with unlimited device login. Plus, there's no risk in just trying it out because Surfshark offers a 30-day money-back guarantee. Click the link in the description of this video to download Surfshark, and make sure to use code Bussy to get Surfshark's extra special holiday deal of 85% off and 3 extra months of Surfshark for free. Thanks Surfshark for sponsoring today's video. Now let's put on our seatbelts and get ready to watch some music television, I guess. Because with the new cast announcement of Drag Race Season 15, we also have news of the franchise moving its main season to MTV. And if you'll remember, this is the second big move in the franchise's history. Back in 2017, they moved from Logo to VH1, which was a pretty big production value increase when it happened, but I'm really not sure what's to actually be gained from switching to another popular network, I think as popular as VH1, like MTV. I mean, what else can the show really do at this point to go bigger? I mean, they've already had Nikki and Gaga as guest judges, and they even had the Pork Chop Lounge. Remember that? What's left to do? I suppose they could add more episodes than we had last season. Maybe 32? Can you imagine? It's week 27 of RuPaul's Drag Race. The queens have run out of makeup. Their heels are broken from the constant lip syncing. And RuPaul knocks on their doors every night dressed as the Babydoll to see if he can stir up any more trauma for the Emmys. That's a season I'd watch, actually. I would enjoy that. But yeah, I really don't think we as viewers are actually going to see a major difference between MTV and VH1. I mean, both of these networks are owned by the same parent company, Paramount Global. And if I had to guess, I'd say this switch had more to do with some sort of behind the scenes stuff that we'll never actually see manifest in front of our eyes as viewers. But I could be wrong. The winner of the season will get a cash prize of $200,000, which is pretty huge, up 50 from last year and double what pretty much every other winner has received. And these promo shots do look pretty good, so who knows? And the other big announcement we have is that Paramount Plus is going to be adding a global All-Stars to the streaming platform, in addition to the already existing All-Stars version. They're also adding new spin-offs in Brazil, Germany, Mexico, and renewing RuPaul's Secret Celebrity Drag Race. Thank God. And the additional spin-offs, yes, I expected, but the new Global All-Stars really did catch me off guard because we've kind of already been doing Global All-Stars in different countries. UK versus the world, Canada versus the world, and I just assumed they were going to continue this like Olympics style thing in every country that they've done a spin-off in. And they haven't said they aren't, but I can't imagine that they would keep doing those in addition to a US-based All-Stars and a Global All-Stars. But assuming they don't do any more versus the world spin-offs, the Global All-Stars does make a lot more sense because then RuPaul can be the main guest judge for the series, and with Paramount backing them, they probably will have a bigger budget to do a fuller set of episodes. Plus on the Paramount platform, the queens that go on Global All-Stars will get a bigger exposure overall than the various versus the world spin-offs in the other countries, which is only ultimately positive for everybody involved. Plus the UK girls will get to finally earn some money. Queens everywhere, queens everywhere, queens everywhere, queens everywhere. Now, let's meet our season 15 queens, who, as I said in this promo, look phenomenal. I absolutely love they went back to the season 1 racing theme, and everyone just looks so damn good, expensive, cohesive. And because everybody looks so good in these promos, we'll be doing flame ratings today, so you can check those out in the bottom corner of their photos while I go through their promo materials. And with that said, let's pop some hoods and take a peek inside. First up, we've got Amethyst, who's from West Hartford, Connecticut, and she's not shy to call herself a comedy queen off the bat, going into this bit about how she's named herself Amethyst because it's got this long, complicated, multi-layered story, with the punchline being that Amethyst was actually just her birthstone, which is actually where I got my drag name from too. You never seen a Bussy stone? Trust me, you don't want to. Overall, it seems like this queen had a really good head on her shoulders, was confident, genuine, calm, and I enjoyed that she didn't take herself so seriously, talking about how her big nose was a part of her drag. And if you have some free time and want to get to know her better, I would recommend looking at her TikTok. She records her drag performances. They're interesting little modern pieces that very much reflect the online culture that we all live in today, and they're pretty funny. And her look in the promo, like her TikToks, is also very trendy. It feels very reflective of that alternative dolls kill Ravy girl fashion that has been popular for several years now. And I really enjoy the flame cutout details with the multi-layered colors, like giving all that dimension in there on her chest. The one critique I would have for this look is I don't feel like the hair is super matching the look, and it might be a little more effective with just the buns. Next up, she's a sinner, but says that she has a heart and good conscience. Aw, it's Anetra. In her Meet the Queens interview, she says her main talents are sewing her clothes and performing. Quintessential drag queen skills. But overall, this queen came off very fierce and sweet, and she's actually someone who I followed on Instagram for years. Her drag is very Vegas, flashy, dancey, plus the little skin cutout peekaboos and hair that you can flip. And her look in the promo is exactly what I just said. This is very on brand for her. And I like that she kept the colors simple, yellow, black, and white. It's kind of evoking a Kill Bill fantasy for me a little bit. She's got that femme fatale thing going on. And her chaps doubling as boot covers for the black pleasers, functional and fashionable. Side note, we do have a testimony from Cornbread about Anetra. She said, "I'm gonna just tell y'all now, when my tour first started, I stopped in Vegas for a show, had a gig with Anetra, watched her from the wings, and decided to cancel my plans at home just to stay an extra day to see her perform. She's a beast, and I don't think y'all are ready." There you have it. Next up, do not adjust your screens. The beauty is all real. And no, I'm not talking about me this time. It's Mayari. She describes herself as our Filipino moon goddess from Nashville, Tennessee, and says that in her drag, she brings in hip hop, musical theater, dancing, and comedy? Background. I mean, she's laughing at least at herself, and hey, if you can't laugh at yourself, then how the hell are you gonna laugh at anybody else? And looking through her Instagram, I noticed there wasn't a ton of posts on her page, but the recent looks that are there are really stunning. She's got a very sleek, edgy, and fashionable take in her drag, and that face is absolutely stunning. The canvas that she paints on, wow. And concerning her promo look, this one was a wow for me. I love the drama of the cape and those chaps. They're so cool. The print, I don't even know what that print is. It looks like some kind of mechanical machine work with Drag Race 15 even printed on, I don't know, is that like the thing that picks the things up? It's like a crane? I don't know. But it's a super fresh feeling look, and I love that it kind of also says drag pageant in the year 3300. Next up, teleport me to Mars. It's Irene Dubois. Dubois or not? Dubois? That's the question. And Miss Irene, although she describes herself as an alien queen, is actually from Seattle. She says she tries to keep her aesthetic unique by looking more towards references in the fantasy realm like Star Wars rather than looking for references in other drag queens. And apparently she's also Bosco's drag sister. Going through Irene's Instagram, she has tons of really sickeningly creative looks. Very alien elfy, demons, gods, and monsters, but also all very draggy, very high draggy. And I like that combination of the two worlds. And Irene carries her carefully curated aesthetic into this promo look as well. The first thing I noticed is the hair. That hair is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And I love that she took it to the next level, not only with her crazy makeup, as she is apparently known for, but also the little like salad finger alien hands. And yes, that was my second salad fingers reference on this channel this week. You're welcome. Oh, and by the way, I just wanted to quickly remind y'all, the icons that you're seeing on these looks are my patrons at my hottest hot tier who voted for this look as their favorite of the week. And you too can get this benefit of the hottest hot tier and tons of other exclusive member benefits like early access to my YouTube videos, access to exclusive videos, and access to the Bussy Queen Discord server by clicking the link in the description of this video to join my Patreon today. See you there. Next up, let's get Jaxed together. And Jax, we learn, is from New York. And we also learn she's 5'3" and has a background as a competitive cheerleader. And as far as who this queen is in drag, she seems to do a lot of blue looks on her Instagram, which is interesting. And it could be fun to see her pull this out for a runway. I don't think we've had a queen paint herself blue since like Alaska on All Stars 2. And her look here in this promo is very dancey. I really like the boots specifically. It kind of looks like a banana being unpeeled. And the Madonna cone bra pieces were a unique amongst this cast detail to have on on her bodysuit. And her hair and makeup is flawless. Everyone's makeup in this season is actually really good. Maybe a little too uniform across the cast. I would say there's not so many uniquely painted faces in this cast, but everyone looks very pretty. If you're not a professional makeup artist, you're not doing drag. Next up, Lucy LaDuca, I'm home. And Miss Lucy Goosey had one of the best Meet the Queens interviews of this whole cast. I was entertained. She's comfortable on camera, can crack some jokes, and interestingly says that she is a drag queen by night, construction worker by day. And she even poured some concrete last week. Imagine you drive by a construction site and you see Lucy LaDuca in full drag, just pouring concrete. And this queen in her interview and from her Instagram, we see as this kind of bright, bubbly, sweet, nature type of person, but says that they really like horror movies and even has a tattoo of the Jason mask. And she does have one little fun like Elvira look and another kind of spooky look, but most of her drag is pretty, blonde, and clean. It might be fun, I think, to see her look into those horror interests and do some alternative drag on the show. For her promo look today, though, she's got a big wrench, and you know what they say about big wrenches? Big nuts and bolts. And you know, this look isn't my favorite, stylistically speaking, but it's put together. It makes sense for her. And I think it's not the different pink tone pieces that are throwing me off, but that white meshy fabric that's supposed to be like illusion for her skin tone, totally not matching her actual skin tone. I wish they had just done white or pink with that to make everything match a bit better. Next up, Luxx Noir London, aka Black Luxury. So Luxx is another queen that I have been following on Instagram for years. She is so talented, beautiful, and it's also been fun watching her drag grow and evolve from when she started. She's so gorgeous, so good at makeup, such a good performer, and also has music on Spotify. I also loved how chaotic her interview was. She's like telling the story about how when she was a kid, she liked to look at the Guinness Book of World Records and find world records to break. I'm just like really obsessed with world records right now. And her promo look is so cool. Probably the coolest look in this set, I would say. It feels very fashion forward, and it is mostly just different colored seat belts, complemented with some like yellow and black gloves. But it is also a super unique look in this set of kind of at times homogenous group of outfits tonight. The white hair being soft, sculpted, and curvy, and also spiky at the same time, matching the stark white eyebrows. Like there are so many great details on this look that really make it memorable and enjoyable. Next up, London, Paris, Milan, Malaysia, Babydoll Foxx. So Malaysia was a queen who immediately got me excited. She was very energetic, congenial to the camera, and you're like, this person has great energy. And she's from Miami and works as a professional hair and makeup artist. And she's a queen who, if you look through her social media, you might think, oh, kind of pageant-y focused. But she clarifies in her interview that she's not a pageant queen. Although she might have done a million of them, she likes to break the rules and has only won a couple of them. It was also great to hear her not take herself too seriously. She said the strangest thing about herself, and I lost it at this, was that she's the type of person who will let a fart out, silent and deadly, into the crowd and then blame it on somebody else. And in her look today, my favorite part is the hair. Those two little black tendrils coming out in the front as bangs are really beautiful in the yellow. Plus this look is visually interesting because she's got what kind of appears to be a Hot Wheels track getting wrapped all around her body, as well as a cape. And next up, Marcia. God, RuPaul is gonna love this queen. Because if you didn't know or didn't remember, RuPaul is in the Brady Bunch movie, which is a parody of the original TV sitcom. And Marcia is like an iconic quote from the original TV show. And I expect that she'll be a tough cookie to crack. She's also a New York queen. Girl, you know those New York queens. They can do it all. They can sing, they can dance, they can act. And in her interview, we learned that some of her favorite things are Hannah Montana, the original drag queen, and SpongeBob. She was giving me very wild card vibes. I could see her going all the way to the finale or like out the first week. And overall, looking through her Instagram, she has a very clear aesthetic on what her drag is and looks like. And it seems like she makes all of her looks. She posted this one video saying she made over 40 looks last year. And her promo look today is stunning. It's really a gorgeous play of that bright yellow, I think it's a velvet fabric maybe, on top of the edgier black latex, with my favorite detail being that really well done black and white checkered piping all along the look. It's really cool. Smart too. And next up, Mistress Isabelle Brooks from Houston, Texas. Howdy, y'all. And like, yeah, if I didn't hear that she was from Houston, Texas, I probably could have guessed by the hair. You know what they say, the higher your hair, the closer you are to God. Mistress Isabelle has a great sense of humor, great camera presence, and she says she's not nervous about being there on Drag Race competing because she's got what it takes to go all the way to the end. Her drag is larger than life silhouettes, huge hair, feathers, jewels, great costuming, really cool materials used in these very different aesthetically looks across her Instagram. And overall, she just does a great job, I think, of presenting a look, at least from what we see here and in the promo. She looks classy, sophisticated, and also kind of sensual. I like the geometric line work on the bodysuit piece, contrasting with the flowiness of the cape. This is a really pretty look, absolutely gorgeous. Next up, Princess Poppy, who is maybe not related to Poppy, the not princess. And Princess Poppy lets us know her drag name came from the desire to have alliteration in her name and liking the initials PP. Poignant. And we learn in her interview that she is from San Francisco, where there are a lot of earthquakes, but she's the biggest disaster there. Also, there was apparently some drama with this. Another queen from San Francisco, Loma Prieta, was calling her out for stealing this tagline. Here's some clips from her being called out.
Not Princess Poppy fully stealing my biggest disaster in San Francisco line that I've used since literally the first gig that I've ever done. It was in my audition tape. It's in my Instagram bio. It's what people say on the mic when I ask them to introduce me. That's a pretty massive up, and I do not think that that was cool to do.
But will PP apologize, clap back, or even care? Find out next time on Hot or Rot. So PP, I was pretty excited for. It seems like she's going to be a funny queen. She says she does stand up, and she also knows how to put a look together. She's got these really beautiful monochromatic looks all over her Instagram that are very like ethereal fairy, and this look is also monochromatic. I guess that is what we're gonna be getting from her a lot. And I really love this look because it is giving that padded kind of motocross body armor stuff that you would wear, but make it a bug glamazon from outer space. It's very Glamtron from the planet Pink. And next up, Trend Alert, the third queen from Connecticut, which has to be a record of some kind, I'm sure, Robin Fierce. And another Trend Alert, mentioning Raven in your Meet the Queens interview. She's either the second or third person to do that, and she says that Raven was actually the queen who inspired her name. You know, Raven being a bird, she named herself Robin. And for a reality TV competition show, Miss Robin was an unexpectedly calming, relaxing, and peaceful presence. She was kind of giving me the energy that if there were a fight going on, she might bake the cake made of rainbows and smiles. She professes is not a comedian, but I'm sure anything she could do would be funnier than last season's Snatch Game. So, you know, they really did set that bar pretty low for them. Her look also kind of has a futuristic spin to it. She's giving me Chromatica, but if it were a ball gown. It's a gorgeous look that definitely matches her classy, confident energy. And girl, you know those extra long gloves. She's ready. Next up, Salina EsTities. I'm gonna have to say that name weird all season. I just don't know if the algorithm is gonna like that word that is part of her name. Shh. And Miss Salina's interview, well girl, that'll wake you right up. I mean, I would have guessed that it was intentional on the side of the producers to go from Robin's calm energy to Salina's very energetic energy, but the fact that the interviews were just alphabetical made this even funnier. And she's talking about how she wants to get all the Emmys, EGOTs, and Grammys from Drag Race and wants to be the first EGOT queen or something. And I was like, wow, she really is in her fantasy. And I'm sure her boisterous personality won't be everyone's cup of tea, but I really appreciated that she was just unapologetically and 100% herself, and her promo look reflects that as well. I love those colors of pink and green, almost looking like camo, but not. Almost looks like it's like melting down her body. And the heels that look kind of like Converse. I mean, come on. This look is great. And next up, Legends Only. It's Sasha Colby. But just who is Sasha Colby, you ask? Well, to start, she does car commercials in Japan. Her hair is insured for $10,000, and one time she punched me in the face. It was awesome. But to be a little more serious, she's a famous drag queen that's been in the scene for quite a while and is someone who has collected the respect of all of the top names in the industry. Oh, and she also is the 2012 Miss Continental title holder. And in her interview, you can easily see why everyone loves her so much. She's professional, congenial, funny, humble, and she talks about the art of drag being her therapist and the love of her life. She loves this as an art form, and it shows through in what she does. And fun fact, she is Carrie Colby's drag mother. And as for her promo look, I've never wanted to be a carhead so badly. She's got a really confident and sexy presentation of her drag that in this look absolutely shows through. I love the strappiness from the little crown piece in her head going all the way down to her heels, and she's got these really fun little XV Roman numeral details for 15 on her bicep and in the hair too. And finally, shake the sugar and throw the spice at Brooklyn Heights. It's sugar and spice. And what these two have done for their drag careers is really insane. And I don't mean going on Drag Race, I just mean what they have built outside of the show for themselves as content creators. They have like over 7 million followers on TikTok and millions of regular viewers. They are a content creation factory, and it's easy to see why. They've got a bit, they're an airheaded duo, and the way they look is completely insane. They are Bratz dolls come to life. That's their aesthetic. And yes, they are twins. That is really the part that I think gets everybody. They came to the show with a huge following and a really interesting shtick that this show is already having fun with and playing with, and will definitely be using to their advantage to create drama and storyline points. Like, are we really expecting to see twins cast and not ultimately have RuPaul make them lip sync against each other? I don't think so. Spice has a more punky, alternative, edgy aesthetic she goes for in her Bratz doll fantasy. She's, you know, not like the other girls. And that all comes through beautifully in this promo shot. This is one of my favorites of the group. I love an alternative look. I do. All black, the white braids, and that awesome hair, she got me. And Sugar's aesthetic, while similarly revealing, we'll say, is a little sweeter, but not nicer. Sugar, as a drag character, is often quite mean to her twin Spice in these videos. Like, Sugar's the more popular, more pretty one, like yada yada yada. It's part of the bid. And their looks, together and separate, are really great looks. And like, aesthetically, they have got it figured out. And in content creation, they certainly have figured it out. But the obvious concern is these two have built this brand and drag persona as a duo. How will they fare when they're split up and challenged to be individuals? You could almost see in their individual Meet the Queens interviews where they maybe were looking for or hoping to hear some feedback from their twin. But yeah, I don't know, maybe these two are the source of the drama everyone's talking about. I guess we'll see. So those are our 16 season 15 queens. Let me know what you're thinking down in the comments below. My observation of all of these looks and interviews and stuff was, oh my god, there's so many queens, it's hard for my brain to like keep track of everyone. And everyone looks so good and homogenized by these very carefully styled and put together looks, very on theme with a great theme. It's like one giant drag queen megazord. And you know, that is all good and bad, I think, because it meant the promo was great and probably will go down as one of the best in Drag Race history. But finding those individual qualities within each queen was a little more difficult this time around. And I'm excited, I think, to get to know them a little more personally and see the individualistic aspects of each queen's drag in the competition. And as for hottest hots today, I'm going to give mine to Spice. And I also asked my patrons over at patreon.com/BussyQueen to vote for their hottest hot, and they've given it to Spice as well. And finally, I want to say thanks so much to you for watching today's video and today's video sponsor, Surfshark, who you can check out using the link in the description of this video. Don't forget, when you use code Bussy, you'll get 85% off and 3 extra months of Surfshark for free. And finally, I want to say thanks to my generous patrons who make my channel possible, and give an extra special shout out to Aiding the Individual, Asa Hakel, Ashley Guard, Cyrus, Daniel Sandez, Dicky, Felicia, Frankie, Hector C. Mancas, Jeffrey, Laura, Lisette, Louis Labrador, Mark James, Matthew Burns, Matto, Michelle, Ruveal, Panda Kitty, Sailor, Steven, Topher, Neely, and Will and Tana, who are all supporting me at my Bussy Queen Collector tier. See y'all later. Love you. Bye.